We submitted testimony for the record, so rather than simply repeating it, I'll reaffirm 3 points. One, improving and reforming our immigration system is in our national best interest. You mentioned the fact that I'm a first-generation American citizen. I am. And as someone who spent 6 years separated from his parents as a result of our Byzantine immigration system, I understand the moral imperative for change, but I think there is an equally compelling economic argument to be made as well. Fortunately, the data supports that, and you went through some of them this morning, but some is also bear repeating. The fact that 25% of our venture-backed companies in this country were started by immigrants. In fact, in a recent study that looked at new companies and new businesses in the United States generally in 2011, it was also 25% of new businesses that were started by immigrants. 76% of the patents filed by our top 10 research institutions include an immigrant. The fact that 40% of the Fortune 500 companies in this country were started by immigrants or their children. Moreover, those new businesses are creating the kinds of jobs that we want to have in this country. And have the potential, in fact, to dramatically reduce our unemployment rate. In a recent study that was done by the Chamber of Commerce as well as ITI and the Partnership for a New American Economy, the unemployment rate for those who have an advanced degree in the science, technology, engineering, and math was a mere 2%. What would we give to have that number be the overall unemployment rate for our country? My second point is that in order to continue this virtuous cycle of immigrants coming to the United States, investing in our country, growing our economy, and creating new jobs, we have an imperative to improve our immigration system. I don't want to embarrass anyone, so I won't ask you to raise your hand if you're walking around with a 1990 cell phone, but I suspect no one in this room is. If my dad were here, he may proudly show off his satellite phone, but it would be quite unusual. In spite of that being the case, the U.S. is still showcasing a 1990s immigration system with the same arbitrary numbers for high-skilled visas, both permanent and temporary, when our economy has grown by 3 times the size that it was in the 1990s. That's simply unacceptable. To the point that Mr. Morrison made on temporary visas, I'll simply make one point before we get to the questions, which is not every job is going to be a permanent job. There are instances where design team leaders or engineers are hired in the United States with the understanding that as the product being developed or the service being developed moves through the global supply chain, that position will move with the product or service. The fundamental question we have to ask ourselves is whether we want the United States to be the platform for innovation for the rest of the world, and my strong view is that we in fact do. And there are solutions for helping to advance and improve our immigration system in a way that redounds to the benefit of our economy. 2 is the Immigration Innovation Act, I-squared, which is moving through your body right now, as well as the Startup Visa 3.0. I think both of those stand a great chance, if moved as a part of the broader immigration reform effort, at dramatically improving the immigration system. The final point that I'll make is that in addition to making sure that we're attracting the best and brightest, it's critical that we make sure that those who are born and bred here have an opportunity to take part in our 21st century economy. Our companies are actually spending billions, with a B, billions of dollars in making sure that is in fact the case. Through mentorship programs, launching initiatives like Change the Equation, or otherwise working to make sure that the benefits of an innovation economy is broadly available to our entire population.